You laugh and learn, I cook and sing. Let's get your taste buds watering. Salmon, potato, latkes, come on, why not go? I think they're delicious, almost nutritious. Here they are. So I'm whipped up a recipe for a potluck that I'm going to where the theme is crunch. All the foods had to have crunch in them. So I made a cross between a potato latke and a salmon cake. So that's what they look like. And I'm serving them with a smoked paprika, horseradish, and lemon sauce. I think they're going to be delicious, and I'm going to show you how I made them. This is the mise en place for my salmon potato latkes. Mise en place is a French word for ingredients and prepped ingredients, and this is what we have here. Shredded potato, canned salmon, Rice Krispies, because I want these to be extra crunchy, onions, carrots, scallions, celery, egg, a little bit of flour to bind in case we need it, and salt and pepper. Salmon, potato. Now we're going to mix together our salmon potato latkes. I had steamed half of the potatoes that I shredded earlier, and I used this fish spatula to kind of chop them up. Chop them up a little bit because they were really long shreds, and what I want to use the potato for is to bind it, kind of give it something to bind with. So I'm going to mix the salmon in. I'm going to mix in the carrots, which I shredded and salted and drained. I sauteed up the onions and the garlic, excuse me, not garlic, the onions and the celery. There's my blooper moment. And the scallions. Woohoo! And then I'm going to mix it all together. I don't know why I'm using a fish knife, a fish spatula, but you know, sometimes I cook and I just use whatever I got. Use what you got. Use what you got. You know, I find myself, you know, cutting up my entire dinner with a butter knife. You know, prepping with a butter knife or using a teaspoon instead of using a spatula. I like this because it's got a sharp edge on it and it chops things together, so that kind of makes it easy. Then I'm going to use the proper tool now, the spatula. I love my rubber spatulas. Silicone, yippee! I can use them in the oven. I can use them on the stove when I'm frying. They're one of my favorite kitchen tools. See, this is pretty sticky, you know? I mean, part of me says I may not need the egg, but to be safe, we will use the egg. And when you're in your own kitchen, you can stick your hands in your food, which some people might think is kind of disgusting, but it's my kitchen, and I'll do what I want to. So then I'm going to throw the egg in, because the egg white adds binder, sticky, and then the yolk adds a little bit of richness to it. And I'm going to put a little bit of gluten-free flour in here, probably couple of tablespoons in real life. Oops, I left some carrot behind. No carrots left behind. And then I'm going to mix it all together. You could beat the egg, or you could slam it all over the counter like I did. You could beat the egg ahead of time just to mix it up, and I suppose if you're really doing things properly you might, but I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel, and I'll never be any good. So then I'm mixing it up, and it looks pretty delicious, I think. And once I get it all nice and incorporated, I did put a lot of salt in the veggies and in the potatoes when I was prepping them. So I don't like to put too much salt in because you can always put more salt in, but you can't take it out. You can put more salt in, but you can't take it out. So we don't want to salt too liberally. And I use kosher salt. And I used organic eggs. I pretty much use organic everything in this. So I feel okay about tasting it. I think it's good. I think it's good. If you like more salt, you can always add more salt. But I'm going to be serving these with some sort of dipping sauce that'll be salty, and then the outside, when I crumb it, will be salty. So this is what it looks like as the middle of our salmon potato latkes. So this is how I'm shaping them. It's pretty straightforward. Round ball. Pat them down. Woohoo! And put them on the plate. And we're ready to crumb them. Potato starch. Get the potato starch. The better you coat it, more evenly you coat it on the first, the better it's going to stick. You don't want to have too much flour or potato starch or whatever you're using. You don't want to have too little. You want it to be kind of perfect because you want them to be sticky enough that you get a good amount of crumb on the outside. So this is what they look like when they're frying. Voila. I'm bringing them to a light brown. And then I'm taking them out. As you can see here, these are all light brown. And then I'm going to put them back in for a minute to get the darker brown thing going on. Getting down. So I've heated the oil back up, and I'm just going to give them another quick fry so that they brown. A little bit more golden brown. When you're frying, you have to be careful not to overcrowd the pan, or it drops the temperature down and nothing fries evenly. And look how good they look. Please like and comment, gee, you're swell, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.